What's up everyone? Noah here, from 840 Movie Caps. Today I'm going to show you an American sci-fi drama movie from 2018 called Fahrenheit 451. Watch out! It's spoiler time. The film begins with Captain Guy Morgan lighting a match and having a memory of when he was a child, walking down a corridor but he can't remember what he saw behind the open door. He follows the latest news and puts drops in his eyes to help him arrested and burned their graffiti. Also, on the Cleveland edge was discovered a deposit of books and a rare collection of pens and paper that on the 9 network, the platform that replaces the internet as we know it today. Montag is in a training battle with Captain Beatty that he thought he would win, but that's not happening. Their colleagues are fascinated by the way the two firefighters fight. Beatty manages to beat Montag and pulls out a tooth. The two remain in a very good relationship after this sparring. Montag is upset about the lost tooth, but Beatty teaches him that everything you lose comes around in another form. Beatty's taking a class with young aspiring firemen. He and Montag tell the kids that the rebels want to upload graffiti to Dark 9 before the firemen burn them. The two teach children to report any irregularities they notice. The two also believe that the only books children can read are the Bible, To the Lighthouse, and Moby Dick. Beatty believes that every other book makes children sick. Happiness is truth, freedom is choice, self is strength. They react very badly when they see a book, which is the purpose of firefighters. Montag shows the kids how to shoot a flamethrower. The books catch fire instantly and the children appreciate it enormously, breaking out in applause. The alarm goes off and the fire department starts the mission. They go to the place where the rebels were spotted, singing a motivational song. The rebels try with a last-ditch effort to upload Shakespeare's and Coltrane's books to the internet but are stopped by firefighters. Guy Montag finds servers in a room that are set to upload thousands of books on the internet. He destroys the servers with an axe and solves the situation. The news of the moment is projected on all buildings of Cleveland. Montag is a star. People love him and see him as a hero. He decides to punish the rebels by erasing their identities. Montag makes a real show by burning the books and servers found in the rebel house while being proudly watched by Captain Beatty. While burning the books, Montag has a quick flashback of his father. To celebrate the victory, Beatty invites Montag to a bar. Here, the two meet Clarice, a woman Beatty received information from, about the rebels and where they are hiding. The two go to a clothing and footwear store where Montag discovers a fake wall. Behind it, they find a young man and an old man trying to upload some truths about books on the 9. The old man has a quarrel with Beatty in which he reminds him that during the Civil War, firefighters used to put out the fire, not to light it. Beatty is convinced that Benjamin Franklin was the one who taught the firefighters to set fire. Montag and Beatty go to the bar to celebrate with their colleagues, but the old man's words about the firefighters got Montag thinking. He comes home and asks Yushia if it is true that firefighters used to put out the fire. Montag is looking for information about Benjamin Franklin, but Yushia tells him that all he has heard are typical rebel lies. Guy Montag is still plagued by many memories, but nothing very clear. Firefighters are going on a mission again to a place Clarice sent them to. They find a woman who is reading from a book and who acts like she doesn't notice them. While Beatty was trying to get information from the old woman, Douglas found a room full of books in the house. None of the firefighters had ever seen anything like it in their lives. Beatty tells Montag about Kafka and gives him a book to browse through. Montag seems to be really scared of books. Beatty forces Montag to read, but stops him after a few lines, saying that the books promote insanity. Beatty gives Montag a whole talk about how books make people confused and sad. Beatty also believes that humans are not born equal and that fire makes them equal. He believes that people can be happy only after all the books are burned. Although he was raised to fight against books, Montag hides a book from others, risking his job and life. They were mere lies told by the ministry. Firefighters empty the entire library and sprinkle kerosene on the books. Montag tries to get the old lady out of the house, but she refuses, saying she wants to burn with her books. The old woman lights a match and throws it over the cards, causing a huge fire. Her last word was, "Omnis," while firefighters stood stumping at her burning. Also, all the people sat watching the shocking scene on the 9. Captain Beatty was held accountable by the ministry for the fact that the old woman had set herself on fire, fearing that she might become a martyr. They were also frightened by the meaning of the word omnis that they did not understand. The news presented the old woman as a woman suffering from mental illness because of reading books. Beatty felt Montag's hesitation in burning books, so he gave him a test he passed with flying colors. Montag runs back home wanting to read from the book he took from the old woman's library. Yushia noticed that Montag was doing something forbidden and intervened. He left the house in search of a secluded place where he could find out the truth. Montag followed Clarice and offered her the book. The two went to Clarice's hideout where Montag asked her to read it aloud. The discussion of the two made Montag even more pondered, as he realized that he had been lied to all his life. He refuses to take the eye drops and immediately has a memory of his father trying to give him a book. Beatty presents Omnis as a microscopic strand of DNA that contains trillions of years of information from books, movies and music. He believes that Omnis is very close to them and sets his finding destruction as a top priority. Beatty believes that if Omnis is released, all of humanity's chaotic knowledge will spread and the dark countries will take over. The firefighters go on a mission, subjecting everyone to terror in order to get information about Omnis. Meanwhile, Montag was meeting Clarice to read from the old woman's book. Montag remembered more and more things about his father. Beatty catches Clarice and several of his friends, but Montag feels his girlfriend is in danger, betrays his colleagues, turns off the light and saves Clarice. Montag is caught by Beatty trying to save some rebels, which makes him a traitor. Montag is resigning, but Beatty won't accept it. Beatty threatens Montag that if he betrayed him, he would burn him alive. Beatty tells Montag that all his dreams about his father are actually caused by a virus. The captain sends Montag to rest, but not before he sends a fireman to follow him. Clarice takes Montag to some people who have information about Omnis, but firstly blindfolds him to make sure that he will not betray. Unfortunately, Douglas saw Montag and immediately reported to Beatty. Meanwhile, Montag gets in front of the rebels, where he is informed about their plan to fight the ministry and how they want to spread the Omnis. In order to trust Montag, the rebels put him to a test. They tell Montag that he will have to kill a fellow firefighter that the rebels have kidnapped. Even though he was extremely scared to kill someone, Montag wants to win the rebels' trust and is close to fulfilling their requirement. Montag is off because it was all a test he passed. The next day, Montag is given an extremely important mission. He must escort a young man and his bird across the border. Omnis was injected into the bird's DNA. Young Clifford has an incredible memory, he manages to memorize 13,000 books. Montag returns to the fire station wanting to steal a transponder, which was a tracking device. Beatty gives Montag one last test. He asks him to read a book while it burns in flames. Montag tricks Beatty this time too, telling him that his wish is to burn things down. Even though he thought he was going on a mission, Montag is brought to his home where he is welcomed as a traitor. He is set to burn a stack of books that were found in his home. Beatty sends Douglas to find Clarice, but Montag manages to disarm him and threatens his colleague. Douglas tries to attack Montag but ends up in flames. Montag manages to escape and Beatty puts everyone on Montag's trail, calling him a terrorist and a murderer. Clarice finds Montag, but firefighters also find the rebel hideout. They catch the rebels and set fire to the barn before Clarice and Montag arrive. Montag sneaks into the barn but is seen by Beatty. Montag sees Clifford lying on the floor but goes straight to the bird and plants his transponder. Beatty realizes that Omnis is in the bird but Montag manages to release her. Beatty does not accept the betrayal of the man she raised to be his successor and sets him on fire. Now that you got your spoilers right, go watch the full movie to find the missing parts. Thank you for watching the video.